I love the American way of life. I love my single family home. I love my backyard. I have a pool and a barbecue grill. One of my favorite things to do is to go to baseball games. In so many ways it's the typical American life, but it wasn't until a few years ago that it dawned on me that I might be enjoying the very best of life at the expense of others. I was overwhelmed recently by some numbers that said that in the United States annually we spend $18 billion on makeup. We spend $15 billion on perfume. And at the same time, $10 billion if put towards the crisis of bringing clean water to people all across the globe would solve the water crisis. That $18 billion would bring food to every hungry child and adult on the planet. And I begin to look at the disposable income, the things that I spend and spend and spend on, and begin to wonder how God must feel. What he would think as a father when he looks down on all of his children. On a flight with a friend recently, I was asking him this question. How do you think God feels about how we live and the suffering that goes on in the world? He said, Chris, if you'd imagine it this way, you have 4 children. Imagine that your third son, Solomon, was unbelievably successful. He had some skills that were marketable. He went out and made excessive amounts of money, just really flourished. And every year he would come home at your birthday and Christmas and lavish you with gifts. And yet, your oldest daughter, Hannah, and her children and grandchildren were living in a place where they didn't have clean water. Literally, her children were dying because they would drink dirty water, they would get diarrhea, and they would die. Just as in this world, one child is dying every 15 seconds because they don't have clean water. Imagine your other daughter, Trinity, and her children. They lack food and basic necessities. They're starving to death. And your youngest son, Christian, and his children, they lack education, shelter. How would you feel towards your son Solomon? It's a really good question. I'd be furious. I cannot imagine. The only way I couldn't even imagine that he would ever do that he wouldn't take care of his siblings. And it dawned on me what he was setting me up for, that the truth is that we are all God's children. As God looks down and realizes the fact that we don't take care of one another, that we may be enjoying the very best of life, and I'm all for the best of it. I'm for ball games and hot dogs and apple pie. But what if we began to be more strategic in our spending, and we could live a beautiful life and at the same time take care of the least of these? If I was a father to children that weren't caring for one another, I would do everything I could to help them understand the importance of it. I think our God through the scriptures has done the same thing. It's time we listen and act. So this is the problem. I'm enjoying a ball game. I'm enjoying a $9 drink and an $8 hot dog. And I get an email on my phone from somebody in our church who's serving the poor in Malawi. And her preschool children keep dying from malaria. I have to realize that the food that I have here tonight costs more than the medicine that cures children from dying from malaria.